I mean, still to this day, whenever I see a new artist that's young, that blows up and becomes gigantic overnight, I kind of get worried for him. I don't think anybody's cut out for it.
How did you do up there?
I was the kid with long hair in my face behind drums that look like washing machines, and I could walk in the front door of a Nirvana gig and not really get noticed. So I didn't have to suffer a lot of the pressures that Kurt did as the front man.
It was a 4-year rocket ship ride aboard what became one of the biggest bands in rock history. At the height of it all, in 1994, Cobain took his own life.
Where are you right after Kurt dies?
Just lost. I went through a really dark period where I couldn't really even listen to the radio because it broke my heart just to hear music.
But quietly, the 25-year-old Grohl began to write and record songs of his own, playing all the instruments.
I went to the cassette place down the street, said, could you make 100 of these? And made a little card to go in it.
Yeah.
And I just started giving it out to people. And I called it Foo Fighters because I wanted people to think it was a group.
He took the name from the military term for UFOs.
I mean, I've always kind of been a UFO nut, but I also, it almost sounded like a gang, you know,
does.
like a karate gang or something like that. So, yeah, it worked.
In 1995, those songs were released as the first Foos album.
Well, I talked about it, put it on.
How would you describe the dynamic of this band?
Dave's the leader, and our job as the band is to make sure whatever in his head gets on the tape.
Along the way, he recruited Hawkins and Jaffe.
Everybody's speechless.
Chris Shiflett on lead guitar, Nate Mendel on bass, and guitarist Pat Smear, who was a touring member of Nirvana.
Has the Nirvana experience, do you think, informed Dave's approach to this band?
Yeah, I think it did a lot. He was smart enough to pull out the good and say, I'm going to do things like this, and to look at the bad and say, I'm not going to do this kind of stuff.
Have there been moments this band has been in trouble?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
2001.
That year, Taylor Hawkins nearly died after a heroin overdose. He spent 2 weeks in a coma, and Grohl did not leave his side.
Were you aware he was there every day?
Yeah, that was heavy time, but he was always there, and he's always been there.
That's when you forget about the band. That's,
Doesn't matter anymore.
No, that's when it gets real.